Welcome to Awakening 5D Healing. I've had a retreat, a spiritual retreat through 2020. Sorry I haven't been here with my videos, my meditations, my energy updates. A lot of 5D healings work in the run-up to 2020 was about positioning and influencing and healing, and we did it. The fear pandemic, the assault that we've had experienced on our mind, body, soul tempos through 2020, we have met that assault, that fear pandemic head on. Light workers, healers, light bearers, way showers, truthers. The woke movement exists because of us. The self-care movement exists because of us. Because we blogged, we trained, we reached out to our families, our friends, our communities in these last few years of cosmic awakening on the Gaia plane. The woke movement exists in 2020 because of us. The self-care movement exists in 2020 because of us. If you're watching my video, I thank you. I thank you for raising your own vibrations. I thank you for raising the vibrations of the people around you. I thank you. I thank you on behalf of the Arcturian Light Federation. I thank you on behalf of the archangels, the angels of light, of all the magnificent beings that are operating on our dimensional field to facilitate this ascension, to take us to spaces of joy, happiness, balance, peace. And it's all possible. And it's all happening. We're just going to take a little minute now. Drop into our breath. Breathing in. And release. The second lockdown is the dark vibration. It's in alignment, negative alignment, and in response to the second wave of light body activation vibrations that are coming through onto the Gaia plane right now. I'm just going to say that again, beautiful people. The second lockdown is a negative alignment to a second wave of light body activation upgrades coming through onto the Gaia plane. I'm here to facilitate those upgrades. My fellow light workers and healers and truth speakers are here to facilitate these upgrades. Our upgrades are going to upgrade our chakras and take us into alignment with the cosmic frequencies of love, and the grounded, anchored goddess vibrations of Gaia. We are part of the fabric of this magnificent, beautiful multiverse. We are never on our own. Dropping back into our breath. Loosening our shoulders. letting that energy flow down into our hips, into our knees, and into our feet. And just feeling that energy flow from crown to root. We align to the higher vibrations available to us on the Gaia plane. And just allowing your breath to deepen and lengthen. And as we lengthen and deepen our breath, we're drawing higher frequencies, higher energy into our mind, body, soul temple. The system, the machine, wants us to breathe to hear. In fact, for most of 2020, the machine has suffocated, stifled, cut off our throat chakra. This is the reason for the masks. And just allowing that breath to drop and deepen. If you have been wearing face masks for work, for reasons of consideration to other people, the fear pandemic is making us feel responsible and using that to emotionally bully us into conforming to the face masks. So if any of you who are watching this video are in the position where you are wearing face masks regularly, I'm just going to do a little bit of healing on the mouth, the skin around the mouth, and the throat chakra. For those of you who have not been wearing face masks or not wearing them very much, this healing will still activate your sense of identity and help us to expand into our truth, into who we are. So I'm just going to hold my hands up. And those of you who are experiencing irritation, discomfort, breathing difficulties, any kind of adverse response to the face masks, I'm just going to connect with you now. I'm just sending healing now. This is the set intention. So those who are struggling, who are finding the challenges of enforced face masks, I send direct healing light to any spaces in your mind, body, soul temple that require healing. Receive my healing. We have a Gemini full moon, and it is aligned with our final lunar eclipse of 2020. It's a big combination, cosmic surfers. We've had most incredible transformative elemental corridors, gateways opening up throughout 2020. We have a big one in December. this is the twins. This is the Gemini Full Moon Lunar Eclipse. We are facing the chasm of trauma and pain and damage between the divine masculine and the divine feminine. The balance between feminine and masculine is epitomized by the Gemini twins. The Gemini twins exist in their divine feminine and their divine masculine simultaneously in balance with each other. We are not in this situation. This is our goal, to activate and expand tribal unity consciousness to a space where the chasm of fear and trauma and wounds that exists between the divine feminine and the divine masculine is healed. And we are able to create a whole. Each of us has masculine energies and feminine energies inside us. Some of us are operating more in our masculine. Some of us are operating more in our feminine. And some have risen beyond both to a space of divine neutrality. And by that I mean they may identify as soul sexual, connecting to a person's soul as opposed to their appearance or their profile or their CV. This is tribal unity consciousness dropping. The Gemini twin full moon is a spotlight on the divine masculine and the divine feminine and the out of balance vibrations that are on the Gaia plane with the feminine and the masculine. We work on self. If we can align our own divine masculine and our own divine feminine into a space of balance, then we are micro to macro. Don't worry about the bigger picture here. The work that's being done is internal. It is internal and it is transformative. There is no normal anymore, but the old normal was horrible. It was micromanaging, bullying, sexism, racism, poverty on a mass scale, with a tiny, tiny group at the top, owning everything in our world. So yes, there is fear. There is no normal anymore. But as a good friend of mine, Queen Kiara, keeps telling me, who wanted that normal anyway? That's what we're here to change. It's infrastructure, it's compassion, it's politics, it's economics, it's quantum physics, it's spirituality, it's us. Draw the breath in, right into that throat chakra. Beautiful people. Allow the throat chakra to expand, to grow in these celestial light vibrations. We activate our throat chakras in the divine sacred light of the Gemini twin full moon. We set the intention to seek and gain balance between our feminine and our masculine. As the feminine rises, the masculine starts to heal. Masculine energy has been inverted. It has been poisoned. It is inebriated. It is intoxicated. It is emasculated. It is impotent. The assault on the divine masculine, i.e. men, the collective, is beyond anything we on the Arcturian Light Federation or in the Andromedean galaxy next door have ever seen. Across all galaxies that we know of, and according to what we know from the Akashic records. The divine masculine is on his knees. Suicide rates for men have shot up in the last few years. Too much responsibility is on men, too much pressure is on men, and too much expectation is on men. The patriarchy is held up by men. The elite can't get what they want unless the mass population of our men are doing their work for them. And that means sexism. That means misogyny. It's patriarchy. It's controlling finances. It's the economy being used to control anyone who is not at the top. It is being told to wear heeled shoes to work because wearing heels makes a difference to how well you do your job. It is being told that, yeah, you do the same job as this guy, but you're going to get 20% of his salary. It's becoming a mother and choosing to parent rather than work and being devalued entirely by society. Stay-at-home parents, mums and dads, I hear you. We are not invisible. We have value. We are bringing up the next generation. And P.S., this next generation are the crystal kids. They are literally the blueprint of the new earth. But society doesn't pay us. Ergo, we have no value. If you hear my words and you feel that society has said no value across your head, labelled you, boxed you up, break out of it, beautiful people. Find your passions. Know self. Dignity and self-respect are the frequencies of self-care and self-love. Low self-esteem, lack of confidence, lack of maturity. These are the algorithms of self-abuse. As light workers and healers, we are here to pull people out of self-abuse algorithms and move them, shift them into a space where they are able to love self. It's very difficult for people to love others when they can't love themselves. It's easy to walk past a homeless person on the street and not feel anything. In fact, if you're really working for the machine, you'll work past someone homeless on the street and think, whoa, I'm doing better than them. This is the ego talking, the patriarchy, the pyramid. We take responsibility. We have to unplug ourselves. It's the only way. We break the self-abuse algorithms. We put a value on ourselves. We stoke our self-esteem. We take care of our mind, our body, and our soul. We carve out time in our daily lives to do this. None of it is easy, and all of it is happening in 2020. Oh. The lunar eclipse is our opportunity to release. Just release. Everything and anything. If there's evil in your life, burn it out. If there's abuse in your life, cut it out. If there are energy vampires stealing your chi, get rid of them. Each to their own here, people. We work on self and we will rebrand our society as a compassionate society. The society we live in is a cold one. And the assault that we've experienced through 2020 is an assault on our humanity. We approach each other with hostility now in cafes, in restaurants, if we're allowed into them. Our children are in school, but we're not allowed in each other's houses. This is a direct assault by the New World Order. They are coming out of their closet. Statues are going up to their king across the globe. We know, we know. Awareness is the first step. Awareness that you're part of a machine, and awareness that you're part of the divine. Whether we come at it through Christianity, through the Bible, through physics, through mathematics, through sacred geometry, through desperation, anger, fear, however we find our path to self-love, find it. Most of us have cried more than we've ever cried through 2020. Most of us have had levels of helplessness, despair, fear. Well, for me, it's getting close to, it's actually surpassed the 1990s, and that is saying something for me. So we just breathe. We breathe into it, and we allow ourselves the mantra, I am doing my best. And like your granny always said, that's all we can do. Step out of the fear. Don't feed it. It's confrontational. It's hostile. It's frightening. There's a sense that the political situation will bubble up in your local supermarket. People are rowing, arguing with each other. Why aren't you wearing a mask? 5D healing finds this completely unacceptable. Humanity is about connectivity. We connect to each other. We connect to each other through our micro expressions, through our faces, through our mouths. There is hostility in anonymity. The internet opened our eyes to the way people can behave when they think they can't be identified. We've named them trolls. They live in the swamp. Face masks are doing the same thing on the material plane. They are stripping people of their identity, their physical identity, but also who they are to the rest of the world. And people are behaving in an ugly, discompassionate, fearful, aggressive, and hostile manner because they think they can't be identified. We dealt with it in the cyber world by recognizing troll behavior, challenging it, and spreading the word of light and love. We have to do the same on the material plane. We each make our decisions. Many of us are being forced to wear these face masks. If anything, reach out to people when you go into shops, when we're allowed into cafes and restaurants. when we're allowed to walk around in the streets. Smile at people with your eyes. Remind your community that we are part of something with each other. We are not in isolation. We are not separated from each other. We are a tribe, and we read each other, and we communicate with each other. So smile. Smile with your eyes, people. We need to break this fear frequency apart. We have to rise above the fear in ourselves, and we have to hold strong. In London, there have been a series of demonstrations, anti-lockdown, anti-vaccines. There is a movement in the UK that believes that the pandemic is an attack on our human rights. 5D Healing is a fully paid up member of that movement. I reach out to each of you, my beautiful cosmic surfers. I reach out to your heart chakras and to your crown chakras, and I activate both now. Critical thinking is a key out of the matrix. Spirituality and self-care are keys out of the matrix. You can rattle that lock, turn that key, and open that door with critical thinking and self-care. Neither are impossible, and both are doable. There is a massive community of woke folk. Woke folk who are committed to self-care, self-love, to valuing themselves, loving themselves. I'm going to get a little bit elemental, cosmic surfers. Fire! Burn your blocks. Burn the fears. Identify them and burn them. Write them on a bit of paper. Set them alight. Do it. Meditation. Say them out loud. I burn these fears. It could be fear of finances. It could be fear of the pandemic. It could be fear of relationships. It could be any kind of fear. Fear of the world we're in. Burn it. Fear will only keep you in the swamp. Stagnant, toxic. The only thing that will take you out of that is self-love and self-care. Air, people. Allow the wind to cleanse negative energies off you. As you walk into wind, say, I activate this wind to cleanse my frequencies, to clear all negative energies from my energy field. Step into the air element by activating throat chakra. Speak your truth. Earth. We're going to earth the Gaia plane. We're going to ground everyone. Ground them. Get them out of this fear, back into the real world, back into the tribe, back into love, back into hugging each other, back into holding hands with each other. We are not letting this happen, people. Fight it. Earth yourself. Ground yourself with critical thinking and self-love and self-care. And ground those around you. Our communities need us, light workers, healers, truth speakers, way showers. Our worlds, our communities, our tribes, they need to hear us. We don't need to shout at them. We don't need to get confrontational. We just need to quietly reinforce the same message. This is a pandemic of fear, and the only way to combat it is self-care. If you're taking care of yourself, you're going to be fine. The statistics, the data, which has been thrown at us every day, relentlessly, for months, is erratic. It doesn't add up. There are massive gaps in it. We are hearing from nurses and doctors across the globe who are telling us they have been offered bonuses to attach COVID to death certificates, and that they've been offered insurance breaks if they can attach COVID to all the illnesses that come into their hospitals. Whistleblowers are stepping up, and they've been stepping up all the way through 2020, light workers. The world is waking up. And one of the harshest things that we have to wake up to is that the state, who are supposed to be our parents, our carers, the government, who are supposed to look after us and meet our needs, aren't. When we wake up, we face this fact. We need new infrastructure. Better distribution of wealth. None of it is rocket science. We've been talking about it for several thousand years. Now is the time. There is no normal, so let's make a new one. Water. We hold self. We contain self. No leaks. We hold our families, our friendships. We contain. We allow the flow within that container. Alignment to the divine. Alignment to our highest path. 2020 is elemental transformation. Fire, burn the fear. Air, speak your truth. Earth, ground, critical thinking. And water, hold self. The Gemini twin full moon is a huge gateway. It is a space for divine healing and expansion of the divine masculine and the divine feminine. The divine feminine rises. Watch out. The divine masculine is very slowly waking up. Most of us in the pyramid know. We know we're at the bottom. We know we're oppressed. We know we're suppressed. We know that economics will tie us up for life. Our lack of finances, lack of career opportunities, lack of education, in some of the worst spaces, lack of food on the dinner table. Non-white and non-male generally know. Sadly, it is the male population that needs to wake up now and realise they are being used. They are being used by the New World Order to ensure the patriarchy works. It can't work unless every man in it is operating on the patriarchal motherboard, i.e., power is money. currency is money. We're shifting this world onto a motherboard of love, where the currency is going to be love, not money. Women, work on self and hold space for your men folk. Men, keep healing. The healing therapies that are available are not hippy-dippy, they are not stupid, they are critical thinking. Sound baths will raise your vibration. Reiki will clear all kinds of issues. Chanting realigns us, drumming, dancing, meditation, yoga, movement. All of this is an intention to self. I'm going to take care of self today. I'm going to stoke my soul. Okay, beautiful people. I may have been offline for a few months, but I's back. Gemini Full Moon. Masculine and feminine. We seek balance, equality, centering, and we work towards those goals. Mantras. I power up the shield of love and light that protects me from all lower vibrations and anything that may mean or cause me harm. All energies, not of my creation, I return to sender. I embrace all upgrades available to me at this time. We embrace light body activation. I love myself. I accept myself. I recognize the spaces in self that need work. I protect myself. I nurture myself the way I would my child. I nourish myself the way I would my child. I encourage and reassure myself the way I would my child. We share love, we receive love, we are love. We can do this, people. We've made it this far. The timelines for 2020 without the woke movement or the self-care movement were not good. We have done incredible work. Incredible work. Be proud of yourself. Congratulate yourself. Allow gratitude to flow through you. Gratitude for the choices that you made, the hardships that you've taken on board because you have been fighting for the light. You are fighting for self-love, self-care, tribal unity consciousness, compassionate politics, compassionate economics. This is our chance. There is no normal, so let's build one. The Crystal Kids are here and they know stuff. They know stuff. They're teaching us. And just taking a little breath and allowing yourself just to drop again. Lots of information. Okay, my beautiful, beautiful people. A little update on our